Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the second weekend of racing for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. This is round number 3 of 20, and the circuit you see before you is the beautiful circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia. My name is Paul Jeffrey. Down there on the grid, looking resplendent in the sunshine, is, of course, Alex Legui, ready, willing and able to bring you all of the excitement, the news and the drama ahead of what should be a very entertaining 30-minute plus one lap motor race indeed. Right on cue, I think we should head down to Alex. Let's find out who she's found.
Hola todos, hello everybody, welcome to the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Here we are in the beautiful Valencia. It is scorcho down here. I'm on the grid for the first round of this weekend here in Valencia. Tell you what, we had an amazing Misano, the first round of the season, and coming out of that, Mikel Ascona had a cracker, and he comes into this weekend as the championship leader. But I tell you what, things are starting to change down here. Free practice 1, we saw Victor Anderson on top. Free practice 2, we saw Jimmy Claret, the brother of Teddy, out on top for free practice 2. Now, I was anticipating that Honda and Cupra might be their time to shine. It still might be. However, Geely dominated qualifying. They had a brilliant session. 1 second, splits the top 10. It is so tight. Let's go and have a chat with Jan Erlache. So he took his pole in qualifying, his 7th as a TCR driver and the first for Geely Cyan Racing. What an awesome qualifying session that was. And as you alluded to, and we spoke after, it was pretty unexpected, wasn't it?
It was quite unexpected. With 30 kilo ballast, you know, you expect to do good, but pole position is it's not easy with this field for sure. But we are happy we take it. I mean, the weight has not a big effect here in Valencia with the short layout. So yeah, no, we felt confident after the free practice. So yeah, we just bring it to qualifying and we put the lap when it matters. So we were happy.
You won here last year. The track is, of course, quite different, isn't it? You told us earlier that there's no team orders, so it is, thread to thread. Ted is a genuine threat.
Easy. Everyone is a threat on the grid, you know, when you are P1, is only people wanted to take your place. So for sure, now I just need to focus on my stuff. If I do a good start, normally we have the same tool. So if I don't fuck up, I should be able to keep the lead. And if that's the case, then I need to manage my tires. The race will be long. We have much more corners per kilometer than the normal layout. So we need to keep that in mind and to keep the tire as long as possible. With the heat we have now, the track temp is crazy high, so it will be a tough one.
Apologies for his language.
Oh, my bad.
Disgraceful. Right, have a good one.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Pedal to the metal, foot to the floor. Let's go and have a quick chat to Ted, because we have plenty of time. Follow me. Right, Teddy boy. Hello, sir. Right, P3 in the standings, 54 points. You had a very good qualifying. You were so close to getting pole. It must be very frustrating.
You know it is when you're so close to it, but otherwise very happy with the speed, very happy with the feeling of the car, you know, and that's what I can do.
And, you know, it's an open goal. No one's in front of you, bar him. That's fine. He's to the side. So it's a proper battle down to that first corner, which I assume in a track like this, certainly in the shorter layout, it's pretty important to get there first.
It is. And as you see, you'd rather be in the first lane because you just have the free vision forward. So I feel great.
Good. How are you managing to keep cool?
It's quite warm.
Yeah.
It's very warm. So I'm just, trying to be relaxed and then use the power in the energy in the car.
Full attack or playing the long game?
What?
Silly question, huh? Always full attack.
Full attack.
Full attack. We love it. Good. Have a good one, Ted. All right. Now, Mikel Ascona is the home hero. He's been very popular this weekend. I tell you what, we've got all sorts going on. So we've got 26 cars on the grid. TCR Spain are joining us, which makes it an amazing grid. And they are fast. But also, over this weekend, we've got Drift Spain, and they are providing all of the goods. They're so much fun. Where's he gone? Right, this is the leader coming into this weekend. Home race. I bet it's been quite a busy one for you, right?
Yeah, it was. Home race is always busy, but very happy to start on the second row. Before with the 40 kilos,
Right.
it's better than expected, Alice. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, given it, I just didn't anticipate it for you boys to be quite so competitive. Talk to us about the track. Obviously, it's fresh track, isn't it, for all of you?
Yeah, it is. It's only 3 kilometers. I don't think you will see many overtakes because there are only 2 corners where you can go for a move. It's on T2 and T-last, but also very tricky. So let's see what the blue cars will bring to the race. Maybe some cows in front, and let's see. But my goal is to finish and take points.
Good. Or as always, vamos, Mikel. All right. I had a really nice chat with Norby. I think it's a shame. Norby is lighter than Mikel Ascona. A shame that we didn't see more from him in qualifying. He's full focus. Look, so Norby has a very calm approach to the grid. But having a chat yesterday, he was saying that he's really confident. I'm not going to interrupt him there. Really confident. For this weekend. He says that he's taken a lot of pressure off his shoulders. We've seen him in previous years get quite stressed about things, but we have a fresh Norby. And we have, as always, we call him the dark horse. We call you the dark horse for a reason. Right. We know that you, in theory, should be competitive this weekend. These guys are not making it easy for you. But in race pace, what are we expecting?
I don't know. For me, in quali, my lap for me was good, but I don't know. Normally the pace for the Group 1 during the race is good. So, but I don't know because the blue guys and the BRC guys is too fast. So I don't know. Let's see during the race. I hope we have a good pace, but let's see.
Let's see. Have a good one, Aurelion. Now, a little further down, we have a new entry to this weekend, Van Motorsport. So we've got a British boy, Luke Sargent, who's being looked after by Rob Huff, who is further back. Unfortunately, they're too far back for me to be able to have a chat to them. And also Manuel Fernandez here. He's Portuguese. We've seen him regularly in the TCR world. And he was saying earlier that he's also feeling pretty confident against the odds. Hello, Ma. Ma is now... showing the world how good you can look with purple hair. Are you going for any other colours this year?
Didn't decide yet. We will see. But I'm quite happy with the colour at the moment.
Yes, good. Tell me who you've got with you this weekend. I know that we're going to hopefully have a chat to them on the grid tomorrow, aren't they? But you've got some quite interesting folk supporting you.
Because I have bring my 2 drivers, my young driver, and they are racing my own team in the go-kart. Okay. And from this month they will start to racing the WSK in Europe and also in the Italian Championship. So there will be their debut in the European season. So let's see. And they are very hard working.
Good. Hopefully we can meet them tomorrow. Yeah. Very quickly. So obviously I assume the strategy for this race is just to keep it clean, look after yourself for race 2 so you can go full attack for race 2, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Have a good one. Right, there we go. That is your grid for here in Valencia. It's going to be a good race. Don't turn off. Vamos.
Thank you very much, Alex Legui, down there on, I really cannot exaggerate this enough, an incredibly warm grid here in Valencia. The temperatures, as you would expect for this part of the world, have been nothing short of sensational. Great time to be at the beach, a little bit more difficult to be at the racetrack, and it's going to be a real challenge for these 26 TCR drivers. There you go, confirmation. Air temperature of 38 degrees, air temperature 30, track 38. Humidity 27%. It feels a lot higher on every single one of those metrics. In reality, it has to be said, it's going to be a fast race. It's going to be a bit of a step into the unknown on account of the new circuit layout. It is done under very sweltering conditions. And quite frankly, this grid is separated by nothing short of a hair's breadth. It is just So tight out there on the grid. Maximum attack for each and every one of the 26 cars that take place. Biggest maximum attack came the way of Jan Earlishay during qualifying. I asked him over dinner, Jan, how hard were you pushing for that lap? Smiled, he laughed, did a hand gesture and went absolutely everything on the line. That's how hard the Geely Cyan Racing squad have to go. Let's remind ourselves, the colour scheme may be familiar, and at first glance, you could be forgiven for making a mistake that is a car that you've seen before, but no. This is a brand new car to TCR World Tour competition. We saw it for the first time at Misano at the start of the season. Didn't do bad there, did it? Marchinquois taking the reverse grid race victory. And this time it's got its very first pole position in the hands of Jan Earlishay. In fact, it's got a front row lockout. In double fact, it's a top 3 lockout. This is a very potent machine indeed. Great to have Geely here in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Great to have Cyan Racing back as well. And I think it's fair to say that they have birthed another absolutely wonderful vehicle for Tin Top Touring cars, and it's doing the job. Jan Earlishay on that pole position from Ted Bjork. And then in third place goes Santiago Urrutia. And there is, right on cue, with the number 181 onboard cameras there for Santi. Not the greatest sight in the world for the Uruguayan driver to see not one but 2 of his teammates ahead of him. But Geely Cyan Racing promise us there are no team orders in this squad. May the best man win, just don't shunt each other off. Sounds easy, that one, doesn't it? Well, let's put it this way. It's not entirely impossible. It really isn't. There's a touring car racing. If you have wing mirrors at the end of it, you've really not been trying quite hard enough. A little bit behind them, Alex mentioned this on the grid, and to be fair, Mikel Azcona also said that one. BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse. They've been a little bit faster than we expected, to be fair, coming into this weekend. Norby, that we see right here and there, 5th position on the grid, just ahead of him. Mikel Azcona lining up in 4th place. They're carrying a little bit of weight, 40 kilos to be precise. In the case of Mikel, 30 kilos for Ted Bjork and Jan Earlishay, 20 for Marchinquois. Santiago Urrutia, 3rd place on the grid, but only 10 kilos. Watch out for number 181. He might have a little bit of something to say before we'd come to the conclusion of this motor race. Dark horse, we always label Aurelien Comte that one, and for good reason. He's a relatively small team, SP competition, in comparison to some of the others around here. And Aurelien, having really impressed everybody, I think it's fair to say, over the course of the last couple of seasons of the World Tour. He's already had some success, it is fair to say. 3 race victories in 2025. Could be a good opportunity to add to that tally, methinks, over the course of this weekend. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got no less than 3 Cyan Racing cars and 2 BRC machines in front of them. But they're going to be fighting hard. And when cars fight hard, opportunities have a habit of presenting themselves. Marchinquois mentioned on the grid already. He quite liked the Misano tactic of getting the reverse grid pole position race win. Well, starts 8th on this one. He has a good opportunity. Let's have a look at the starting grid then, while we're at it. Jan Earlishay, Ted Bjork are your front row. Santiago Urrutia and Mikel Azcona line up on row number 2. 5th place goes the way of Norbert Michalitz. Alongside him, Aurelien Comte, then Marchinquois and Jensen Brickley are 7th and 8th places respectively. 9th goes the way of Stendorian Piramagi, who's also our ETS guest star fastest driver and pole in TCR Spain. Julian Brichet will be 10th, alongside Victor Anderson in 11th, and Jimmy Claret making his first start of the season in 12th. Enzo Gianfratti will line up in 13th. He's got Eric Zabala alongside him. Watch out for the Audi. Very quick driver indeed. Raphael Fournier is 15th. Sandro Pilati back once again in 16th position. Damiano Reduzzi will line up in 17th, and he's got Paulson alongside him. Gabby Corvini's 19th, however, due to the engine difficulties, they've had to do some repairs. He'll be starting from pit lane. Romo Fernandez is in 20th place on the grid, and then we have got Luke Sargent in 21st, Sebastian Cuerno in 22nd, Matthew Casalonga in 23rd place, Demir Erige will line up in 24th. And then the final row of the grid goes the way of Busan Fontan and Samuel Chalin. round out the 26 cars that will start. Just to remind you, Gabby Covini, there we go, proof positive on your screen, will start from pit lane. And let me give a massive shout out to the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa team, because when I was walking up to the commentary box, I had a look in the garage, and that did not look like a full TCR touring car at that time. So absolutely sensational work from the Italian squad to get that car put back together again and get it ready for Gabby to go out, albeit somewhat disadvantaged down there at the back of the grid. If you watched qualifying this morning, you'd have seen smoke under the hood of the Hyundai Elantra. Well, they've had the whole thing stripped out, sorted, fixed, rat-a-tat-tat, and they're ready to go racing for Gabby. There's still an opportunity. The life is a little bit harder at the back of the field. Keep your nose clean though, work your way through the pack, and perhaps there's some advantage a little bit later on in the weekend. Big reminder as well for everybody watching at home, this is a 3-race event. This is the first and only race today, and then tomorrow we do rounds 4 and round 5 at 9:30 UTC and 14:50 UTC respectively. Keep your eyes on that one, as BRC Hyundai keep their eye on the watch when we get ready to start this motor race. I am genuine, I'm always ridiculously excited for motor racing, but this is a brand new track for us, give or take, new layout at the very least. I am fascinated to see what these guys can do in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. There's an air of doubt about overtaking opportunities around here. I've watched more than one touring car race in my life. Anybody who says it's impossible or difficult to overtake in a touring car isn't being particularly frank with you. Don't worry, these guys will find a way. I am certain. Although if you're Jan Earlishay, perhaps you'll be hoping for a slightly calmer affair behind than I predict is going to happen. Who will get away from the line? The trio of Geely Cyan racing cars, they're going to be fascinating to watch. But my advice to you, my dear viewer at home, keep your eye out for Aurelien Comte. Keep your eye out for Victor Andersson as well, 11th place. Gutted was the Swedish driver to not be in the top 10. There's pace in that Monlau Motorsport Cupra. Don't you worry. Victor Andersson will be climbing forward, I am sure, from the 11th place on the grid. Another reminder as well, we're racing with TCR Spain this weekend. Dorian Piramage is the man starting on pole position in TCR Spain, 9th in qualifying. Eric Sabala, his nearest rival, in 14th position. There's a good fight going on there. Sylvain watching on, nervous about his charge. 6th on the grid, Aurelien Comte. The Cupra looks competitive around here, and Aurelien, it's always competitive, no matter where he races. Big pressure for the team, big excitement for us watching at home. Final car then, lines up on the grid. Expectation and excitement mounts. The green flag at the back of your field will wave, and there we go. Have a look at the timing lights. 3, 4, 5 lights are on. All lights are off, and we are go for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Round number 3 here in Valencia. Jan Earlishay having to be very aggressive for the run down into T1. Ted Bjork has the inside line, has the upper hand, methinks. A little bit of contact, is there? No, they just about avoid each other. Earlishay, whoa, that was close to the tyre barrier. And look at Mikel Azcona. Opportunity does present itself, and the Spaniard is more than keen to grasp it with both hands. Mikel Azcona then, much to the delight of the watching crowd here in Valencia, is your new race leader. Ted Bjork held on to that 3rd. No, he didn't. He dropped to 4th position. Santiago Arrutia finds his way up the running order as well. Great start there for Santi. Ted, from the attacker to the man wondering just how that quite fell apart. There is Nolan Mikulis and Marcin Hua almost as one. Norby, though, scything his way to the inside. Mar doesn't find an opportunity. Aurelien Comte tries to find an opportunity. No such one available on this occasion, as Julian Brichet and Dorian Piramage are fighting very hard indeed. The blue car of Brichet, though, just about keeps that position. Great stuff from our World Tour field through these opening few corners. Down and then to the tricky Campos final turn we go to mark the first lap of racing action. This is a 30-minute plus 1 lap race on board with Aurelian Comp. This is what it looks like to be in 5th position in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour race. This is what it looks like to have a Geely Cyan Racing rear bumper in the front of your window. Aurelian not keen to stay there for long, has a look to the inside of Bjork, cannot find a way past Eric Zabala and Enzo Gianfratti getting excited a little bit further back as well. Zabala in the black Audi, flash of the lights, can't find a way past though on this occasion. Gianfratti holds on to the racing line. There's Jensen Brickley, by the way, with the luminous highlights, having a little look at Victor Anderson. These two know each other very, very well from TCR Europe competition last season and from TCR Spain races this year as well. Victor Anderson leads the TCR Spain driver standings, of course. He's going to be wanting to hold on to that advantage as much as humanly possible. But he's a race car driver as well. He'll see an opportunity. I dare say he'll take that opportunity as well. Anderson 8th, Brickley in 9th. A little bit further back, Rennie Paulson. Will we see the 441? He's got Raphael Fournier for company in the bright yellow and black Hyundai Elantra. A little bit further back from him, Vannin Motorsports, new in to the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Luke Sargent on board that Audi at the moment in all kinds of trouble through the final corner, does well, does the English driver, to gather it together. But that puts a little bit of a stunt in his charges again. Aurelian Compt on board. Look at this first corner. I absolutely love this corner in a TCR car. Maximum commitment. Tyre barrier on the outside though to make sure our drivers behave themselves, and everybody does at this stage. But look at Aurelian, look at the 107. He does look very enthusiastic, doesn't he? I think Ted Bjork's in a bit of trouble here, folks. 4th position so far, coming under increasing pressure. Great stuff from Julian Brichet in the 24. He's doing a good job up there in 10th place, pretty much where he started this race. Julian desperately keen to keep the car in fine fettle. He'll start race 2 from pole position tomorrow morning. Julian does not want damage. It's a small team, JSB competition. He'll afford to do too much damage with a big opportunity tomorrow. No problems though for Aurelian Compt. He wouldn't mind exchanging a few body panels and a couple of wing mirrors if it means he can find a way past Ted Bjork ahead. Through we go then. Mikkel Kona is your race leader, 6/10 of the line with the advantage from Jan Erlichet. Let's have a look, see if there's been any change the next time of asking. If Kona crosses the line, 1/10 difference. Lap time 19.9 versus a 19.8 for Erlichet. But this is where the attention needs to be focused, methinks, on Aurelian Compt. He's very enthusiastic. There's Claudio Corvini looking on. His boy Gabrielli managed to get out on the racetrack, still down there in 26th position though, having started from the pit lane. Right then, let's take a replay of the race start. Look at the launch from Ted Bjork in 2nd position. There he is to the right-hand side of your screen, much better away from the line from Jan Erlichet. Looked like he got the deal done, didn't it, in T1? Little bit of contact between the two of them. That's riding on board with Santiago Ruti. Goodness me. Wow. Eyes like dustbin lids for Santiago. I feel that was a very surprise addition of a Lincoln Co. Geely machine in front of him. Really, really good. The wheel spin we saw from that shot on Erlichet. Looks like Jensen Brickley as well had a bit of a stinker away from the line. Brickley, that'll explain why he's running down there in 9th position. This is on board from Mikkel Kona. And that's what an open door looks like. Yippee-ki-yay, says Mikkel. Almost gets closed off in a very rude fashion indeed by Jan Erlichet. But the bravest of the brave is Mikkel. Look at him checking his mirrors, making sure he's got the racing space. And Kona, that bit of bravery, that bit of strength of character is what has bought him the race lead. And so far, half a second advantage. Looking good on home soil for Mikkel. Every single time I bumped into him or gone to find him in the paddock, he's been swarmed by friends, family, people looking very important and official with Spanish badges on the shirts. He's absolutely the man of the moment on home soil, and he's doing a sensational job to live up to those expectations. 4 laps into the race, he's still our race leader. Picking back up again then with Aurelian Compt, 5th position for the Frenchman. Still Harry in the back of Ted Bjork. Doesn't look quite as urgent though, does it? Now we pick Aurelian back up again. It's only a small gap between the two, but the body language of the French driver suggests he is not as imminently keen to make that overtake as perhaps he was a couple of laps prior. Everything started to settle down now. Heat in those Kumho slick tyres, heat in the brakes, little bit of composure gained for the drivers. And now Ted Bjork starting to eke away the advantage. Big question is, though, can Norbert Michelitz in 6th place do anything about this one? While Aurelian continues to hover around the rear of Ted Bjork. Marching was keeping a bit of a watching brief as well. Remember, Mar very well positioned for race number 2. He's going to be keen to keep that car clean. He's also going to be keen to find a way past the Hyundai. Old rivals, aren't they? Hyundai and Siam Racing, BRC and the Geely brand. Always seems to be the blue cars and the Hyundai cars, doesn't it? Towards the front, no matter how long we go back in time. And it just shows that Mar would be very happy to find a way past Norbe. I dare say, Rally and Comp that we're riding with now. Great shots, by the way, on board in the SP competition Cupra. Rally and Comp seems like he's maybe, I know it's only early, but running out of legs a little bit in his attack on the 111 of Ted Bjork in front. Again, brand new circuit layout here at Circuit Ricardo Tormo Valencia. Here's the national circuit, so the shorter, the quicker, the less corner intensive version. And not one driver in this field has raced their TCR car on this layout before. So nobody realistically knows what to expect. We had a 3-hour test on Thursday. Plenty of time for drivers to get some time behind the wheel. Testing's one thing, racing could not be any different. And I do think this is going to be a few changes through the running order, methinks, as we progress into the race and people start to have their car come to them or go away from them. Jimmy Clary riding on board now with the ALM Motorsports Honda Civic. Started in 12th position, currently runs in 12th position. Does the French driver. Jimmy's got Stendarien Peremage just ahead of him. Another one of the ALM Motorsports stable. Stendarien, of course, racing under the ETS Guest Star categorization and also in TCR Spain. That is Siam Racing watching on nervously. They'll be wondering, does Jan Erlichet have the pace to get into this conversation with Mikel Azcona? Well, last time around, Mikel, 1 minute 20.1. Jan Erlichet, 1 minute 20.281. So a little bit faster. Near as makes no difference, it has to be said at this stage. For car number 196, Mikel Azcona. Erlichet, though, perhaps biding his time. Looking after the tyres, looking after the car. There's no real benefit from pushing too hard at this stage. Oh, hello. Car number 12, 5-second time penalty. What happened there? That is Gabi Corvini. This day gets worse, doesn't it? Corvini's just about closed up now to the back of the field. Demir Leger in 25th position. 5-second time penalty. Well, of course, be added to his race time at the checkered flag. The Italian, arguably one of the least fortunate people I've ever met when it comes to racing luck. Always has the pace, always seems to have something. Just go against him. There's a mistake for Damiano Reduzzi. René Paulsen tries to use that to his advantage. Reduzzi, though, has the switch back. The inside line becomes his line, and the place stays exactly as it was for Draco's WRT driver. Paulsen in the background having a look. Raphael Fournier trying to buy into this one as well. The bright yellow JSP machine. Good to see the young French driver in action. And Rafa unable to find a way past just yet. But look how the yellow car fills the middle. Paulsen has a little think about the inside line. Reduzzi, though, has it covered. Then proceeds to make an absolute fist of the chicane. And now vulnerability will be the key run down into Campos, the final corner. Reduzzi has the inside line. That's going to make it very, very difficult on corner X. He's going to be compromised. Is the Hyundai driver. And this is René Paulsen's opportunity. Into the slipstream we go. A little flash to the lights. Reduzzi won't care one bit about that one. A waste of energy at this level. But look at the defensive stance to the inside. Goes back to the outside line to claim the racing line. Paulsen won't have enjoyed that one, will the Danish driver, but he will enjoy this one. An opportunity to the inside. Turn 2, Santi Urrutia said, would be an overtaking spot. Ouch. That wasn't great. Contact between the two of them, though. Poulsen gets the job done, and now Raphael Fournier fancies his chances. Runs out of racetrack, though. Riduzzi has the line, has the high ground, and holds on to that position. Good bit of driving there, though, from Raphael Fournier. Doesn't jump into the spots and put himself under pressure. Lives to fight another day. Look at this one. Right then, let's have a look at this one then. This is a replay of the pass. Poulsen to the inside. Riduzzi does not recognise the fact that there's a Honda Civic Type R FL5 TCR car alongside them. Inevitable contact between the two, but just about gets away with it. Both drivers, no harm, no foul. Advantage to René Poulsen. Daniel Riduzzi still under pressure, and at the head of the pack. Aurelian Comp now starting to bleed lap time, isn't he? That gap has extended significantly since the last time we checked in on car number 107. Let's have a quick look at the timing tower. 20.726 versus 20.746 for Ted Bjork ahead. So a little bit quicker last time around, but somewhere during the course of the motor race the damage has been done, and that gap now is extended to, in touring car terms, a monumental 0.7 tenths of a second. Mikhail Kona, still your race leader. Jan Erlichey, though, I think that looks like a car that is winding up to do something a little bit exciting. Jan Erlichey, far too early in the season. This is only round 3 of 20 to be counting the points. He'll be absolutely enthusiastic to add to the 10 race victories already under the belt of the reigning Kumho FIA TCR World Tour champion. Second place is good points. First place is even better indeed. Right then, we come over the timing tower, getting closer and closer to the halfway mark of the motor race. Lap time count check, 20.998 for Mikhail Kona, 21.029 for Jan Erlichey. So split by as near as makes no difference in terms of lap times. It's all about who's got the hunger. Look how close, goodness me. Santi Arruti and Ted Bjork against that tyre stack. Great bit of driving to avoid contacting. Please don't contact it, because that would be a disaster. But good stuff from all concerned. By the way, 11th position. A little bit off screen, Jimmy Claret gets past then Dorian Piramage. So Jimmy up into 11th place. The two ALM Motorsport drivers swapping position. Piramage, of course, still remains the leader of TCR Spain. Right then, let's have a look. What are we looking at here? That is Eric Zabala. Oh no, it's not. My apologies. That is the 420 of Sebastian Cuerno that we're having a look there. Big contact between the two. Managed to survive just about on that occasion. Don't want to be doing that one too many times, otherwise you will be heading for a world of pain. That is the battle, of course, down there in 21st and 22nd position. Both of those drivers survived, though, relatively unimpeded, so they'll be able to continue on their merry way. And what is proven to be a bit of a fascinating race, isn't it? It's not quite been the overtaking festival that I was hoping for, but still, so far so good. Gabriele Corvini's bad day continues. As you can see at the top of your screen, car number 12, a drive-through penalty for multiple track limit infringements. OK, Gabby, that one's on you, I'm afraid. And here we go, big news. Marching Hua is in pit lane. Car number 155, Marching Hua for the Geely Cyan Racing Machine is in pit lane. Some kind of trouble for the blue machine. Bonnet up is the telltale, oh dear, sign in touring cars. There's Alex, good stuff. Going to try to get the scoop and find out what's happening. Frederick Valen doing the universal sign for game over, I think, and that's a real shame for Marv. There's Gabby Corvini coming in for his drive-through penalty. Poor old Gabriele. It's not been a great day, has it, for the Italian driver. Corvini in pit lane, but at the head of the pack, Mikhail Kona is your race leader. Jan Erlichey in second position, and keeping a watching brief in third, that man Santiago Arrutia. 14 minutes plus 1 lap then on the clock. Who are the big movers and shakers? Who are the big winners and losers in the first half of this race? Marching Hua, I'm sad to say, despite the wonderful purple hair, does have to go down the loser category. There is the Geely car in pit lane, looking a little bit terminal, I'm afraid, for the Chinese driver. Seeing 12th position on the timing screens, they'll disappear in short order, I'm sure. Here's Shane from Bar. What's this replay we're having a look at again? This is round 42 of that particular panel. We're right on board with the Honda. This is the move. This is the overtaking place that we've opened up with this new short layout here at Valencia. If you're quick to the top chicane, you have an opportunity to the inside, and that is exactly what we saw on that occasion. Great bit of overtaking. Two to tango in these scenarios, and everybody at this level knows how to play the game. That's a good bit of driving from all. Having a look out of my, it has to be said, sensational commentary box window. It does look like Mar is still in pit lane, so I'm afraid that is probably the last that we have seen of the 155. Gabby Corvini has been down and satisfied the stewards as well. Corvini now classified in 25th position. The Italian driver not having a fabulous day, it has to be said. And that is Stendorian Piramage just behind him. Enzo Gianfratti as well. Great to see the Brazilian driver in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Gianfratti doing a sterling job, it has to be said. Manuel Fernandez, you saw on your screen, also has a 5-second time penalty that will be applied to the end of his race, of course. Not great for Manuel Fernandez. He is, of course, racing for Valencia Motorsports alongside Luke Sargent this weekend. Where is the Portuguese driver? 22nd position so far. Fernandez will have the time added, of course, at the checkered flag. Doesn't need to come down pit lane, doesn't need to serve that penalty. It will be added at the end of the race, and that will drop him down several positions. Fontaine and Hergé are within that 5-second window for now, so Fernandez has no choice but to go as fast as he possibly can and recoup ground. Right then, lap time check, my dear viewer. Who is quick and who is not in this battle for 1, 2, 3 and 4? Last time around, Mikel Azcona, 1 minute 21.491, 121.426 for Jan Hergé behind. Close as you like. Add in for the closeness, 21.4245 and 21.183 for Santi Urrutia and Ted Bjork, respectively. You can measure these gaps with your eyes. You don't need a clock to see how close it is. And have a look at Ted. There is the 111. That is a man on a mission. Santi Urrutia sees threat, goes to the inside line to defend the line. Ted Bjork not quite able to get the overlap, but the 111 has had a dig around in his back pocket and has found himself a world of lap time. This is good stuff for the Swedish driver. He has opportunity now. The big question is, does he have a Geely Cyan Racing size gap in which to insert himself over teammate Santiago Urrutia ahead? That is going to be a very difficult position. It would not want to be Frederick Valen on pit wall at this stage. Right then, let's have a look at another replay. That is Raphael Fournier. Alongside him is Luke Sargent. Sargent in the green and yellow machine, Fournier in the yellow car. That's the new chicane that dictates the layout that we're running today. And I've been around that track and never expected that to be an overtaking spot. So well done, Luke Sargent. You have been christened the first man to make an overtake at the new chicane, and you've done it in very fine style. 18th place is your reward. There is Manuel Fernandez, and that is a real shame for the Portuguese driver. Out of the car, out of the motor race. Not the start the driver nor team would have been hoping for here in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Well, despite the thousands of degrees temperature, it almost looked like Santiago Urrutia was doing a bit of tyre warming there, didn't it? I think it's more to... oh, hello. That is Jan Hergé running in some kind of trouble. What has happened to the French driver? Oh, this is disaster for the Frenchman. Jan Hergé grinding to a halt from hero to zero in an absolute heartbeat. The 168 says goodbye to this motor race. This is a disaster for our reigning champion. Outstanding news for Mikel Azcona. Not so bad for Santiago Urrutia and Ted Bjork as well. But their concerned faces, there's Paul looking on. That is a group of people that are as unhappy as you could possibly be at this stage. And for Jan Hergé, oh, this is not good news. Telltale smoke under the hood. So his car cries enough. And Jan, fastest lap of the race thus far. Second position before that happened. Now into retirement. And when the championship is as tight as it is in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, you can ill afford to park at the side of the racetrack. Right then, let's take another look. So there we go, little puff of smoke. You can tell the blue stuff coming out of the bonnet. That is a very terminal looking situation. Don't like to make assumptions as to what is wrong. Let's have a listen. Can't hear anything on board Santi's car, but you saw the reigning world champion move over to the side of the racetrack. Good stuff actually by Jan to get well and truly out of the way so we don't cause any problems. I think he's looking out of my comms box window. I think he's parked that car relatively out of harm's way, but the end result is the same. Jan Erlichey, DNF, did not finish. They're the three letters nobody wants to see next to your name in motorsports. Michael Alcona's day just got a whole lot easier, hasn't it? From a gap of absolutely nothing to a 1.1 second advantage over Santiago Urrutia. Ted Bjork jumps up to the bottom step of the podium, and Aurelien Comte, having overtaken no one, inherits fourth position. Norbert Mikulits, by the way, is up to fifth place as well. Good stuff for Norbe, but it's still teammate Mikel Afkona that leads this motor race. Right on board then with the 107. This is what fourth position looks like at a world-level touring car race. I would give my right arm to be in that seat. And Aurelien Comte, though, is doing an absolutely sterling job. Ted Bjork having a bit of a go as well. Look at Ted, looking to the outside. We'll take a quick look at the latest adventures for Damiano Reduzzi. He thinks he's in one of those drift cars, doesn't he? It's not Drift Spain, this is the World Tour. Damiano vulnerable from attack for Luke Sargent behind. Look at the timing screens, though. Sargent didn't manage to effect an overtake on this occasion. Reduzzi, though, won't be going very quick for very long if he's got that angle of lean in the car for much longer in these temperatures. Ted Bjork, though, he's a man that's coming alive in this motor race, isn't he? Look at Ted, trying desperately to paint himself to the rear of Santiago Urrutia. Teammates, same car, access to the same data. Just down to the man behind the wheel, and Ted Bjork is hungry for that second position, and he has to be, because this man Aurelien Comte is buying into the fight very, very quickly indeed. Aurelien, a slow burn motor race for car number 107. The SP Competition Cupra, though, on a charge as Sebastian Cuerno decides it's a lovely day, let's go to the beach. Unfortunately, the beach is a bit further away than that gravel trap. There is the Cupra, straight to the scene of the accident. Good stuff, though, to get the car back out again. Hopefully we've not got too much debris on that final corner, and Sebastian Cuerno lives to fight another day. 22nd in the running order. Jan Erlichey, Manuel Fernandez and Marcin Hua being the three drivers that are not running on the racetrack for now. Right then, folks, go nowhere in the next 5 minutes, 24 seconds plus one lap. It doesn't matter if you're thirsty. Have a drink later. Keep your eyes glued to this one. This is going to be electric for the final 5 minutes. Ted Bjork, 2 laps ago, I was talking about him as a man on a charge for second place. My eyes do not deceive me, nor do yours. Ted now is under pressure from Aurelien Comte. Aurelien in the 107, looking more and more enthusiastic on the back of the 111. Norbert Mikulits in the background as well, keeping a watching brief. Norbe, ever the wily old fox, waiting for opportunity. The big question is, will opportunity knock for the Hungarian driver? If these two have anything to go by, I reckon we're going to see some side-by-side action in a very short order, and that is the opportunity for Norbe behind. A car or 2 car lengths maybe is the gap at this moment in time. That, my friends, will disappear in the blink of an eye. Through Campos we go then. 181 in second place. Santiago Urrutia thinks he's got a bit of pressure, does a little bit of fresh air defending, not necessarily the right manoeuvre at this juncture of the motor race. He does get back on the racing line, though, just about before we get in to the meaty part at T1. So no harm, no foul, no time lost there for the Uruguayan driver. But Ted will take heart from that particular manoeuvre. The more Santiago's moving around the track, the more Ted knows he's looking in his rear view mirrors. Car number 15, Luke Sargent, by the way, 5-second time penalty for track limits abuse. Sargent currently running in 15th position at 5 seconds. Having a quick look at the timing. Tower will probably cost him 3 places as things stand. Shake of the head there from Frederick Vallen. Not quite sure what that means. Hopefully it means, please boys, don't hit each other. 3 minutes, 20 seconds plus 1 lap. Whole load of touring cars. Can't guarantee that one, I'm afraid, Frederick. As Ted Bjork continues his charge, continues to defend from Aurelien Comte. It is Mikel Azcona, your race leader. This is Comte through that final corner once again. Hello, what's happened to Mikel Azcona? Disaster for the Spanish driver on home soil. Mikel Azcona in a world of pain. What has happened to the BRC Hyundai driver? Was it a mistake? Was it something more sinister? Don't know the answer to that one, but I can tell you from 1st to 4th position is the end result. Nightmare fuel for Mikel Azcona. Oh, no, there we go. Not even 4th position, it gets worse. Pit lane on home soil. Oh, Mikel, I could cry for the man. That is an absolute nightmare, both for BRC Hyundai and Squadra Corse, and for home hero Mikel Azcona. He did everything right, didn't he? He was absolutely on fire down into T1, the bravest of the brave, into the first corner. Won the hard-fought early race lead, and we all thought when Jan Olyshe pulled to the side of the track, signed, sealed and delivered for Mikel. The racing gods unfortunately had other ideas. Not sure what the issue was on the Hyundai. I am guessing it is perhaps, well, I don't know. Don't guess, Paul. Guessing is stupid when you have no information. But what we do know is Mikel Azcona is back on the racetrack, so that is, I would say it's good news, but it probably isn't. It's all the way at the back of the grid, isn't it, for Mikel? Disaster then for the Spaniard. We'll come back to that in a minute because we've got a real race on our hands now. We were excited about the fight for second, were we not? Well, what can make that more exciting? Making the fight for the lead. That's what can. Santiago Urrutia then, your new race leader. 1 minute 25 seconds on the clock, plus a single lap. And if Ted Bjork was enthusiastic before, he will be chomping at the bit right now because second ain't nowhere near as much fun as a race win. And Ted, desperado for his 8th Kumho FIA TCR World Tour win. That is Sandro Pilate having himself a little bit of an adventure. The Italian driver decides the chicane, didn't enjoy that edition, and reprofiles it himself. Unfortunately, though, the gravel trap made that a suboptimal racing line. Sandro Pilate, where is he? All the time in Tower. Had a great qualifying, to be fair, and he's running in 12th position as things stand, so absolutely fabulous stuff, despite the excursion for the experienced Italian. He's still on the racetrack. 36 seconds are still on the clock, plus 1 lap. Santiago Urrutia is still your race leader. Right then, we're getting down to the exciting part of the motor race then, folks. The proverbial sun is setting on this round 3 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. And there is the answer to what happened to Mikel Azcona. It is unfortunately the dreaded puncture on the Spanish driver's car. That's a real shame. Good news is, though, it ain't something more sinister, so that car should be in good fettle for tomorrow. Perhaps a little aggressive on setup for the Spanish driver, and that is the price that Mikel Azcona pays. Whew. Santiago Urrutia almost paid a tyre stack size price then, but he managed to just about get it back on track at the apex of T1. What that does mean, though, is Ted Bjork again has a little bit of a sniff. There is blood in the water for the shark that is Ted Bjork. The question is there time left on the clock in order to do something about it? We're running now down to 0 on the clock. The next time around will be the final lap, and then we can all look at each other and go, where did that last 30 minutes go? But to me, it feels like we've already just started. These races are sensational. Man, I love touring cars. Absolutely brilliant stuff then. Santiago Urrutia is your race leader from Ted Bjork. Aurelien Comte is up there in 3rd position. Great solid drive from the Frenchman. Norbert Michelet's doing solid work in 4th place. Victor Anderson, I told you to keep an eye on Victor, didn't I? Well, I hope you did, folks, because boy done good. Victor Anderson up in a 5th place as well. Started 11th on the grid. Great recovery drive from the Swede at Monlang Motorsports, Cupra. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, draw your attention to the screen. It is the final lap of this motor race, and it is Santiago Urrutia that is your race leader with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Also known as Ted Bjork in the Triple One. Teammates, there's no matey rivalry here in this particular race. Mark my words, both drivers are giving every single fibre of their soul to take this race lead. This is what it looks like to lead a motor race on the World Tour. Looks nice, doesn't it? Santiago Urrutia, he'll be praying for this short lap to be even shorter. It may just be 3 kilometres in length. To Santi, it will feel like the whole world. The 181 is looking good at this moment in time. Santi can win this one. It'll be his first victory since 2023. Believe that one, if you will. Oh, Jimmy Clary says hello to the tyre barriers in the biggest way possible. The 121 is out of this motor race. Hopefully, the Frenchman's all right. We'll come back to that one in a minute, because there's a small matter of calling our race winner in a few moments' time. Through the final corner we go. On the final occasion, car number 181, Santiago Urrutia, will accelerate to the line for the last time. The checkered flag will wave, and it will be victory for the Uruguayan driver. A fantastic performance, a 1-2 for Geely Cyan Racing. Aurelien Comte comes home on the bottom step of the podium, and look how much that means to Santiago Urrutia. Fist pumps in the air. What a win for the Uruguayan driver. Great performance, kickstarts his 2026 campaign, and as mentioned, a first race victory since 2023. Incredible performance. Just the second win at world level for Geely Cyan Racing, and for Teddy Clary, Universal Racing driver side, arms on hips, basically means what happened there. And we'll come back, we'll hopefully unpick that one. In fact, here we go then. This is what happened to Jimmy, all on his own, and that smacks of puncture. And yeah, I think we saw the front left there coming off the ring. In we turn, nothing happens. Get the handbrake on, slam the brakes on, and hope it doesn't hurt too much. That's a nasty way to end what has been a reasonable day in the office for Jimmy.
All cars are important for me.
Having a slight listening to Frederick Valen then, see if anything of worth was being said. Always risky, isn't it, when they don't know there's a camera and a microphone on them. But Frederick just no time to celebrate, is there? At World Tour level, we don't have time to rest on our laurels. It is straight into planning the next part of attack. And of course, cars need to go through Part Ferme. Everything that you see here is always provisional until we've had the final investigations and all that good stuff. But as things stand, Santiago Urrutia will likely be the happiest man here in Valencia, and for very, very good reason indeed. Absolutely fabulous stuff from the Uruguayan. Yes, he inherited the race lead, but man alive, did he fight very hard indeed to keep the cars behind him. There is Jimmy. Never like to see that one. All the hard work for absolutely nothing at the end, and the very likeable Frenchman goes to assess the damage. Hopefully for ALM Motorsports, it's not too significant, and they can get that one sorted out before race 2 tomorrow morning. Woohoo! Have a look at the Drivers' Championship. All change at the head of the pack. Santiago Urrutia leads the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour for the first time in his career by a majestic singular point from Ted Bjork. Mikel Azcona is the third position in the point standings, and Norbert Michelis, despite having not the highest of profile starts to the season imaginable, is still in fourth place in the standings. Good stuff from the Hungarian driver. Great stuff from the entire Kumho FIA TCR World Tour field. And anybody who said you can't pass on this layout, that proves you wrong, doesn't it? Great bit of motor racing. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. And have a look, this is great actually on board. Look how buzzing the paddock is. It is absolutely ridiculous how many people are here. Not very often you have to cut through the crowds as a race winner. There we go, that guy nearly pushed his missus out of the way. Oh, please, somebody clip that one and put it on social media. That's hilarious. But yeah, absolutely fantastic atmosphere here at Valencia. And they'll head down to the stage in a few moments' time. ETS Guest Star Trophy winner Victor Anderson finishes in 5th position. Great to see him get that result as well. And a very well-deserved one as well. The TCR Spain championship leader is going to have done his championship campaign. No harm whatsoever. As there is Santiago. Oh, good Lord, mate. That's a good jump. Almost took out Gino then, our photographer. And just look at this. Anybody who says these guys just do this because it's a job and they all just want the wins and success, that's what passion looks like, folks. That is where the blood, the sweat, the tears, that is where the hours and hours of training, of sacrifice and of compromise all become absolutely worth every moment. Incredible stuff then for Santiago Urrutia, riding high as our race winner at round 3, the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Lovely sportsmanship there for a rallying comp. First one over there to congratulate Santa. Ooh, he's a hot boy, isn't he? He looks like it's very, very warm work out there, and it really is. It's an incredibly hot day here in Valencia, as it always seems to be at this part of the world. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, Jimmy Claret. Not a happy bunny, and so he shouldn't be. Shame for Jimmy, not the way that you want to end your first weekend of the season. And here's confirmation again of the provisional race results. 1-2 for Julie Sayan Racing, Santi Urrutia and Ted Bjork. Rallying comped, Norbert Michelitz, 3rd and 4th. And it's Victor Anderson, winner of the ETS Guest Star Trophy. Jensen Brickley, quiet race for the Brit Jensen Brickley. Solid points in 6th place. Julien Brichet, great drive from the Frenchman. 10th to 7th place at the flag. Sten Darian Peramagi in 8th. Enzo Gianfrate, a quiet drive for him. And a good result at the end in 9th. Eric Zabala, René Paulsen and Sandro Palatti rounding out the top 12 drivers. Damiano Reduzzi crosses the line in 13th, just ahead of Raphael Fournier. And then we have the drivers that have received various kinds of strife over the course of the race a little bit further down. This is then another confirmation in a different format of the race results. 32 minutes, 36 seconds and 5/10 worth of racing that we've had. Honestly, don't know about you folks at home. It feels like it's been about 30 seconds of racing to me. It really has gone like lightning. Great race, great performances throughout the field, and a lot of unpicking for us to do come the conclusion of this one. Make sure you find out all of the news and all of the stories afterwards on the TCR World Tour social media channels, and of course on the World Tour website as well. There is the bottom half of the running. Great stuff for Demir Erligier. He finished the race in 20th place. Good to see the Turkish driver get to the checkered flag and acquire a little bit more time behind the wheel as he continues his development. He's been coached by Ruben Volt, the Estonian driver. Very, very popular, very fast driver in TCR Europe as well. Great person to have coaching. Gabi Corvini had everything go wrong, but just about managed to stay on the lead lap, classified in 22nd position. And of course, Ma Qinghua, Manuel Fernandez, Jan Erlichey, and Jimmy Claret failed to make it to the flag. There is the winners' arena, looking absolutely fantastic at the bottom end of the paddock. And there is an ALM Motorsport car being craned away, looking somewhat less fantastic. Shame for ALM Motorsports. And a shame for Jimmy as well, of course. Just outside of the top 10 at that stage anyway. So no big points loss. But obviously more work for team and driver. Leaves a bit of a bitter taste in the mouth as well. Right then, let's have a word with our race winner, Santiago Urrutia, who's with Alex Legui.
An incredible race that was. Santi Urrutia, I cannot imagine what was going through your mind, particularly when you heard that both your teammates had dropped out of the race. Your first win since Bathurst 2023, what a drive.
You never know, it's just normally hold positions, but it's racing. It's just another win, part of the championship, so this is what we need to be at the front and fight. But I cannot thank enough my mechanics and everyone in Cyan, because it's so difficult to work in a new project and everything, and already the second race that we won, so I'm very happy for them, and as well for myself. It was a bit emotional because, as you say, it's been a long time. At the end of the day, you race to win races, and you know it doesn't happen in a long time. So I'm very happy, but especially for my team. Bueno, muchas gracias a todos los que vinieron, uruguayos, españoles. Vamos arriba, 2 carreras más para mañana, así que muy contento. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. We prepare for the podium.
Fantastic stuff there. And as Santi says, Bathurst 2023 was the last time the Uruguayan driver saw the checkered flag first. Doesn't feel that long, does it? In reality, it's always there or thereabouts. Well, this time, he's very much there indeed. Takes the race win. And this is what the points look like after that motor race. It is a 1-point advantage for Santiago Urrutia at the head of the pack. Ted Bjork moves up in a second place, Mikel Azcona in third, and then Norbert Mikkelitz in fourth position. Right then, let's have a look at some of the highlights of the race that we've just enjoyed.
Onto the stage for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour Race 1 here in Valencia.
Vamos con el podio de la primera carrera en este TCR World Tour.
In third position from SP Competition, give it up for Aurelian Comte.
Tercer clasificado, Aurelian Comte del SP Competición.
In P2 from G.
So that the podium celebration, I think we're struggling to pick up the audio from down there, so I'll pick back up again. Third place then goes the way of Aurelian Comte in second position. It is, of course, Ted Bjork. And in a few moments, it will be our race winner, Santiago Urrutia, that jumps to the head of the pack. And jump he does. Look at that one. Very, very happy driver is Santiago. And for Geely Cyan Racing, of course, it is a second victory in just 3 races for this brand. A great start to their time in the World Tour. Victor Anderson takes the spoils as the ETS guest star driver, an award courtesy of ETS Racing Fuels for our drivers that are here in just a one-off as we go for the Uruguayan national anthem for our race winner, Santiago Urrutia. Vamos, Santiago, indeed. What a result. What a performance, indeed. And now it's time for us to round out our trophies. And first and foremost, Gabriel Alonso, the promoter of TCR Spain, has the honour of awarding the third place trophy to Aurelian Comte. And then the second place trophy goes the way Ted Bjork. Beautiful trophies, by the way, here at Valencia. And for the race winner, Gabriel Alonso, once again, awards the trophy to Santi Urrutia. Gili Sayan Racing, they're collecting trophies quite quick, aren't they? 2 victories in 3 races for the new brand in the series. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And then the ETS Driver Trophy to Victor Anderson will be presented by Eduardo Farini, Sales Manager of ETS Racing Fuels. There we go, Victor Anderson. 5th position overall as well. Great performance from the Swedish driver. Drivers will come together then. They'll have their family photo up on the podium. And then you know what we do. We get perfectly good champagne. We spray it all over each other. In this kind of heat, that is going to be some sticky stuff. Down there on the podium, great crowd as well, gathered around the cars in Parc Ferme. And the drivers, time to celebrate, boys. There's even an umbrella look at the back of the podium. The person on sound knows exactly what to expect in this scenario. Wonderful stuff. Victor Anderson probably doesn't have a spare race suit, so he takes a step to one side as well as our top 3 come together for yet another photo. Beautiful performance then, a 1-2 for Gili Sayan Racing. You really don't get a much better start in life, do you, in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Really, really good stuff. Meet the new boss. Same as the old boss. Pete Townsend once wrote, same car, same colour, different car, same performance and result. Beautiful performance for Gili Sayan Racing and a perfectly measured drive from Santiago Urrutia. Looks to the cameras, looks to the skies, looks to the crowd. Smile says it all. What a day in the office for the Uruguayan driver. And now it is time in a few moments for the TCR Spain podium to take place. Because let's remember, the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour joining forces with TCR Spain this weekend. 26 wonderful cars. It's brilliant to be here in Spain. It's great to be the TCR Spain organisation as well. Some fantastic drivers and teams, the way they present themselves and the way they go very quickly indeed is mighty, mighty impressive to see. So in a few moments then, our top 3 finishers from TCR Spain will head to the podium. Victor Anderson, of course, having taken the victory in that one. Stendorian Hiramaji as well, doing a good job. 8th position overall. Enzo Gianfrate on the bottom step of the podium. Good stuff for Enzo, the Brazilian driver. It's been a very, very good day. There is Stendorian Hiramaji going up into P2. And then Victor Anderson. Yet another victory in TCR Spain for Victor Anderson. His championship lead extends once again. Great stuff for him. And there is your podium. Monlau Motorsports getting up there as well. It's good to see Monlau up there. They're a racing engineering school, so they have a lot of people turning through, learning how to go about the way to go motor racing. But before we take any further, let's have the Swedish national anthem. Swedish national anthem then for your race winner in TCR Spain, Victor Anderson. And once again, TCR Spain promoter Gabriel Alonso has the honour of awarding the trophies to our top 3 drivers. Enzo Gianfrate, I've not seen this trophy yet. That is really nice. Well, I do like that one. 2nd place for Stendorian Hiramaji. And then Victor Anderson taking the biggest one of all with the number 1 in the middle of it. They're the kind of things that you want. Absolutely. Monlau Motorsports as the winning team as well. Fabulous, fabulous stuff from Monlau and from Victor Anderson. 10th on the grid. He fought on the World Tour field, finished in the top 5 and took a win in his own championship as well. Absolutely brilliant stuff for Victor Anderson. And for the whole podium, TCR Spain drivers have shown the world they are every bit as good as their World Tour counterparts. Really impressive performance indeed. Right then, champagne time. Spray, spray, spray. Party, party, party. Oh, Victor, he's not in a spraying mood today, is he? He wants to keep that uniform clean. He's got 2 more races still to do. And in fact, actually, we're missing. There is Demir Erige in the background. He needs his trophy as well. He's won his category. Don't forget Demir. There we go. Another one of the 5, believe it or not, ALM Motorsport drivers taking part in this race. It's not often you see teams running 5 drivers. And there is Demir Erige. Wins his classification as well. And does a solid job, does the Turkish driver. Good stuff then, from all concerned. Family photo. And at the second time of asking, we're going to spray a little bit of champagne and have ourselves round of applause for all concerned. And now we spray the champagne. Come on, guys. Quick, 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 quick. Get that bottle open. And there we go, in time-honoured fashion. Victor's not bothered now. Now he doesn't mind getting the champagne out and getting the suit dirty. And so we should. That's your reward, boys, for an incredible performance indeed. I love the umbrella at the back of the shop. That is absolutely fantastic. And there we go. That is your podium then for our TCR Spain drivers. Incredible racing, incredible excitement. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. And I cordially invite you all to come and do it again. 16:45 local time. 14:45 UTC. No, apologies. 11:30 local, 9:30 UTC for race 2 tomorrow. Thanks for watching from us all. Take care and bye-bye.
Pequeño problema de comunicación entre nuestros comisarios que se salta absolutamente